Hello guys, this is Yara here, and this is gonna be a post Ycs Banlist tier list. And what this means is that now that we have a couple of regionals under our belt, and we have a Ycs that had more than 1,000 players under our belt, we have more of an idea of what cards should get hit. So that's why I have a tier list right here. And the way I divided the tiers is I have the banned section, what card I think is going to get banned. I have a limited section, what card I think is going to get limited, semi-limited, and also an unlimited tier. But I also have a little smiley face, as you can notice right here. And what that means is that there are some cards that I have here that will stay in the same place, and they're just kind of like decoys. So I'm just kind of trying to throw you off. So every card that's on here, on the pictures that you see right here, is not gonna get hit. So that's why I want you guys to stay until the end of the video, so you know exactly which ones are gonna go on the smiley face category. They're gonna stay in the same place, they're not gonna move. Okay, so they're just throwaways. So yeah, I think let's get started. So Salamangreat Circle right off the back, unlimited. Salamangreat is doing absolutely nothing. It is the definition of a rogue deck. Sure, they can OTK pretty easily, but they cannot compete against any of the top decks right now. So yeah, I think Salamangreat Circle is one of the safest cards to bring to 3. It wouldn't cause any problems at all. So right off the bat, we're gonna put Salamangreat Circle at 3. Verde Anaconda, smiley face, and no, I think this card should get banned. I think we are gonna follow along the same way that the OCG did. They banned Verde Anaconda over there on their side of things, and I think we will follow along with them. This card is just a problem. The fact that you can Nibiru combo deck, they can turn that token into a Link Spider, another monster, make Verde Anaconda, make Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, my bad, and they pop the Nibiru and they pop the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, so you just negged so hard, and they went plus. Then they're gonna have a Pot of Greed afterwards. So yeah, I think Verde Anaconda has got to go. The fact that it's still legal is beyond me, honestly. So now we're gonna have Conquistador. So Eldlich surprised me a lot. I expected the Cyber's Eldlich to do well at the event, but I didn't expect pure Eldlich, like the control variant, to do well. I had some very good pilots. It even got to the finals, right, which is crazy to me. So Conquistador is one of the best cards of that engine, and the deck is not like super oppressive, especially right now that people are not side decking that much back removal. But once people start realizing that maybe we should side in more lightning storms or cosmic cyclones, then so I think we're just gonna give it a little tap on the shoulder. So we're not gonna hit them that strong, so we're gonna semi-limit the Conquistador. I think this is the correct approach. Now we're gonna go with right. So the problem with the whole Brave stuff is that it's a new archetype. So that means that Konami still has to make money out of it, and that's what people don't understand. Like, sure, it's boring to see every deck running Brave. It's super boring, I get it, right? But Konami needs to make money, so realistically they're not gonna ban any of these cards. They're not gonna limit any of these cards, not yet. I mean, they're limited on the OCG, but it took a while for that to happen. So what I think is probably gonna happen is we're gonna see a semi-limit of right, and we're also gonna see a semi-limit of temple. That way it won't be as consistent to see on your opening hand as it is at the moment, because right now you're almost always gonna see it in your opening hand, either a Foolish Burial, a temple, or a right, which is insane, right? And if you play Small World, you can get to it as well. So yeah. And then along those lines, Scarlet, I think along the same lines of Conk, I think we should semi-limit it. I think that would be the correct approach. That way we just put it, we just like make it a little bit weaker. We're not like completely neutering the deck. So semi-limiting Scarlet and semi-limiting Conquistador, I think would be the correct approach. So that way you won't be like having like 30-minute games where like they still have a Conk in deck, they still have a Scarlet in deck. I don't think that should be the case, right? They should actually learn how to use their resources and not just like, oh, end phase, banish, banish, end phase, banish, banish, end phase, banish, banish. Like, what? When are they ever gonna run out of resources, right? So I think if we semi-limit both Scarlet and Kong, they're gonna have to learn how to use their resources more carefully. I'm not putting Huaquero here because a lot of them just run 2 Huaqueros. It's the least impactful of the 3. So now we're gonna put Mirage Stalio Unlimited as well. Konami, if you made it so we could run 6 Mirage Stalios on the extra deck, you wanna know how many I would run? I would run 1 Mirage Stalio. I don't care how many there are legal. Like, it makes no sense to me. As a Salamander player, I would not run multiple Mirage Stalios. The extra deck space is already tight enough, so there's absolutely zero reasons why Mirage Stalio is limited. Like, it makes no sense at all. So I think Mirage Stalio should just be completely released. Maxx C, okay, so Maxx C, it should be smiley face. I think it should stay banned. Stay banned. I don't think Maxx C should go anywhere. Card is super crazy. It formats the whole game. Like, it defines the whole game, similar to a couple of other cards that we're gonna touch on this tier list. If Maxx C becomes legal, every deck is gonna change. Every deck is gonna be running Crossout on the main. Every deck is gonna be running Maxx C on the main. Yeah, so it defines the whole format. So I don't think Maxx C should come out of the ban list. So my eyes are drying out. Alright, so now we're gonna put okay, you know what, we're gonna get to that at the end. So now Scythe. Okay, so we need to talk a little bit about Scythe. Scythe didn't get to the finals, right? So does that mean, oh, Yara, does that mean that Scythe is not a problem? No. You want to know why Scythe didn't get to the finals? Is because people are running 15 hand traps on their main deck. The reason they're running 15 hand traps on their main deck is so they don't get Scythe. If Scythe was not part of the format, we wouldn't be running this many hand traps. We'll be running Dark Ruler No Mores. We'll be running Lightning Storms on the main deck. More blowout cards, right? But we cannot afford to run those cards because of Scythe. So Scythe is defining the whole format. Just because it didn't get to the finals doesn't mean it's not defining the format. If your deck relies on the extra deck, you have to have outs on the main deck and on the side deck to it. That's why a lot of people don't have space on their side deck to be running stuff like Cosmic Cyclones, Lightning Storms, Feather Dusters. And that's why decks like Eldlich are thriving at the moment, because people don't have the space to be running the back row removal, because they have to main deck and side deck stuff to combat Scythe. So Scythe is a huge problem that has to be dealt with, and I think the only way we can deal with it would be to banning it, right? Even if we ban Verti Anaconda, there's still other ways to take out Scythe. Yeah, so you can summon it with Baron, you can send it with Beatrice, couple of other ways that you can summon it during your opponent's turn. So yeah, and then Shifter. So Shifter is a crazy card. It is like having 3 Call by the Graves for the Flunderies deck. Like, if the Flunderies decks runs 3 Shifter and 1 Call by the Grave, they essentially have 4 Call by the Graves, because they dodge stuff like Baylor, they dodge stuff like Droll and Lockbird, Ghost Ogre. I mean, it is absolutely insane. I don't think that only one deck should be able to run a Call by the Grave. You can I won't be, if you put Flounderies at the beginning of Dimension Shifter, I wouldn't be surprised. You know why? Because it's the only meta deck that can run Dimension Shifters. You may be like, oh, but Yara, what about this one other like extremely rare deck, or like extremely like table 500 deck? They can run Dimension Shifter. So the meta deck that's abusing it right now is Flounderies. So I think Shifter 100% deserves to be banned. Like, not even a question. Out of the whole Flounderies deck, I don't think the deck is unfair. It is extremely unfun to play against because of Shifter. If it wasn't because of Shifter, it would be like better to go up against it. So now we are gonna go with multi-roll. Multi-roll. I've talked to a couple of Sky Striker players. They even talk about cutting the 1 of that they can run at the moment. I think this card can come back to 3. Sky Striker players might test 2. They'll be like, what the heck, why am I running 2 of this? They'll go back to 1, right? So I don't think this should be limited. I think this could easily come back to 3. So, and this is from somebody that hates going up against Sky Striker players. I hate that deck with a passion. Like, I remember when I first started getting into competitive, I was playing against full power Sky Striker, and I did not have a good time. I was a Salamander player, I did not have a good time. So you may be like, oh, you're being biased, Yara. You love Sky Striker. If you know me, you know I hate Sky Striker players. No, not the players. I hate Sky Striker, the deck. Then we have Called by the Grave. So Called by the Grave, smiley face. No, no, no. Called by the Graves and is a Saki one-off. I do understand why it is. It's pretty good. It's like a, how do I put this? It's like an anime type of card. You know, when like the protagonist like top decks that card that they really need. This is one of those cards so that you can combat stuff like Destroy Phoenix Enforcer or those hand traps that you need to combat against. So I think Cobra is good at 1. I don't want to see it more. If Maxx C became legal, then probably we could see like Called by the Grave at 2, right? But I still wouldn't want to see it at 3. That's how crazy this card is. So I think it's good where it's at. Either banned or limited is the perfect spot for it. So, but I think limited is good enough. So Fusion Destiny, I'm gonna put limited. It's the first card that I have a limited right here. So I believe that even if Verti Anaconda got banned, people will still be running the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer package because it would be like 50% chance of seeing like one of the bricks, or could it be like 2 Fusion Destinies and then a Celestial and a Dasher, so like about half and half. So they will still be running it, just simply because that card is that good. I mean, yeah, Fusion Destiny, it is so good of a card. Like, you know how they say that opening like Nibiru plus another hand trap is the god combo going second, like Nibiru plus Effect Veiler, Nibiru plus Imperm, Nibiru plus Gamma. That's like the god combo, because even if they set up a negate, you can activate the Nibiru, they chain their negate, then you can chain your other hand trap, right? So that's like the god combo of going second. You want to know what the god combo is of going first? Opening combo plus Fusion Destiny, right? That's the god combo right there, because even if you get stopped by 1 or 2 hand traps, you activate Fusion Destiny and you can, that's a wrap. That's a wrap right there. That the opponent just negged so hard thinking they were gonna stop you, you still set up an interruption plus follow up. Crazy. So Fusion Destiny, I think, should get limited even after Verti Anaconda gets banned. So now Harpour. So Harpour, it is I believe that if this gets released, Orcust will see more play. I don't think it'll be the top deck by any means necessary, but I do think that a lot of people are gonna like take it out of their binder and they're gonna start testing it out. Maybe like combining it with like Danger Orcust or like just like pure Orcust. So I think since we're banning Verti Anaconda, I don't think Verti Anaconda and Harp can be in the same format. That would be insane. So that's why we banned Verti Anaconda, and we're gonna go ahead and limit the Harpour. I think limiting it is good enough. You can always just Ash it, DD Crow it, or something like that. Well, assuming they don't have the field spell, but yeah, I think limiting it would be perfect. Scapegoat, I think we could easily unlimit this. It requires you to have an extra deck built for Scapegoat, so that means you have to open Scapegoat for it to become like relevant. So it cuts a lot of your extra deck space. So and it does have like a pretty good restriction that makes it fair in my opinion. So I think we can release Scapegoat. So now we're gonna have the Wind Barrier statue. So the Wind Barrier statue, I remember one of the top players at the YCS that got to the top 8 playing on Flounders was playing 2 Wind Barrier statues, which means just goes to show you how this card is, how good this card is on this deck, that they're even willing to run 2 of it, right? Which it could be like kind of like bricky, but yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as I hate playing against Flounders, like I despise playing against that deck, I think this card could stay where it's at. It could stay where it's at, right? I think if we ban Dimension Shifter, then the deck will be better to play against. It will be like way more fair. So I think Dimension Shifter is the problem. Like, we can imperm the Wind Barrier statue, we could like droplet it, we could do a lot of stuff, but we can't even droplet under Shifter. This video just became a rant about how much I hate Dimension Shifter, but yeah, this card, you can't even droplet under Dimension Shifter. That's how crazy this card is. Like, it's insane to me that people are willing to defend it. It's crazy. And Flounders is no longer a rogue deck, people. It is no longer a rogue deck. It is a meta deck. So I don't think a meta deck should be having a one-sided triple called by the grave-esque type of card. Prevents you from getting dropleted, on and on and on and on. So yeah. Anyways, and then 001. So this is where like I could talk about for like a long time, right? Halqifibrax, Aurora Dawn, or 001 are the three cards that often get talked about, like which of the three should get banned, right? Aurora Dawn, 001, or Halqifibrax. So I don't think Aurora Dawn should get banned, simply because it is very hard to take out if you ban one of the other two pieces, right? So if you ban either Hulk or if you ban 001, then Aurora Dawn instantly becomes very difficult to take out, and it wouldn't even be worth it at that point. So I don't think Aurora Dawn is the problem. I think and Halqifibrax, as much as a good card as it is, right? You can, like, during the opponent's turn, you can take out Shooting Riser, send Snow, send like so many cards. As good as a card it is, I understand the purpose of the card. It helps rogue decks. Like I've seen like Sky Striker decks. They have the Selene combo. They go Halqifibrax Selene combo. I've seen other decks where like they kind of want to take out a tuner from their deck that's not necessarily 001. It's like part of their combo. Like it helps a lot of rogue decks or like low tier decks like have a chance to compete. So it's generic. That's the reason why a lot of like quote unquote bad decks can play this card. So I don't think Halqifibrax should get hit purely on the purely because like it helps a lot of rogue decks, right? Like I feel like I'm rambling, but yeah, like it helps a lot of rogue decks. I don't want to see like the same decks all the time. I also want like other decks to try to like compete with the top decks. So I think Halqifibrax helps out in that aspect. So I think 001 does deserve the ban. I do think so, because with the whole a tuner and a monster can get you into Halqifibrax. Halqifibrax summons at 001, then you go into Aurora Dawn, then you can set up multiple negates through that. But you wouldn't be able to set up multiple negates if we ban 001, right? As much as I would hate to see another tuner go, which sucks, Halqifibrax has killed off a lot of tuners. I think that just for just to give rogue decks a fighting chance, like in letting them have Halqifibrax, I think we shouldn't ban Halqifibrax. So I think 001 would be the correct choice. So, and then the time we've all been waiting for, YCS winner, first place, was playing Prankets. Elijah Green was playing Prankets. Even if he didn't win, even if he did not win, the most represented deck of the top 32 was Prankets. There were 10 decks, Prankets, which like doubled more than like the second highest represented deck at the top 32. It is without a doubt the most dominant deck of the format. Prankets, Brave, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. So I don't, like I mentioned, Konami still needs to milk the Brave stuff. They need to make money out of it, so they won't like limit it or ban it right now. So I believe that this Meow Meow should get banned. And I've talked to a couple of Prankets players. I've also like wrote a lot about this myself, right? Like which of the three should get banned? Which of the three should get hit? Would it be Pranks? Would it be Doodle? Would it be Meow Meow? And I think the Meow Meow is easily the most broken out of the three, because he makes it so like you have so many one card starters, which means that you have a lot of room to run stuff like the Brave stuff, hand traps, blowout cards, because you don't need multiple kits to be able to do anything. I think if we ban Meow Meow, it will make it so prank kits won't be as consistent. They will rely more on Pandemonium. They'll rely more on polymerization to make plays. So I think banning Meow Meow is the correct approach. So yeah, banning Meow Meow. Then we have a Hero Lives, easily unlimited. Kind come on, let's just give heroes some help, right? Heroes are struggling. As long as Konami does not give them a negate, I think they're good. They're a healthy deck to play against because they don't set up any negates. They still lose to Nibiru if they don't play safe. So yeah, but when they go second and they want to OTK you, they're always gonna play into a Nibiru. So I think it's a fair deck to play against. And then we have the Spiral Resort. I think this could go to semi-limited. In my opinion, it could easily go to unlimited, but we could easily just test it out at 2. I play this deck. I have a lot of videos on Spiral, not only on the TCG, but also on the Master Duel. And even on Master Duel, it breaks a lot. If we semi-limit Spiral Resort, it wouldn't change a single thing. It wouldn't change a single thing. The deck will break still. As long as we keep the... as long as we keep Master Plan banned, I think the rest, as long as we keep Quick Fix at 1 and Master Plan banned, the rest of the cards could go at whatever, it doesn't matter. So, but I think we could test it out as semi-limited. So, yeah, that will be it. Ban, Vertanaconda, Scythe, Dimension Shifter, 001, and Meow Meow. Limited, Fusion Destiny, Harpoor. Semi-limited, Scarlet, Conquistador, Right, Temple, and Spiral Resort. And then unlimited would be Salamagre's Circle, Mirage Stalio. I can't think of the name right now, but this one right here, Scapegoat, the Hero Lives. And then the cards that should stay the same, shouldn't get touched, should be Maxx C, banned, still stays banned. Call by the Grave limited, stay limited, and Wind Bear Statue stays limited. So, as always, guys, this was Yara here. If you enjoy this content and you stayed this long into the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment on the video. It helps the algorithm. But yeah, this was Yara here, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for watching.